Good afternoon. Gosh, it's beautiful.
It's a gorgeous day.
Sunshine. Good weather. Temperature is up. Vibes are good here at the NCAA tournament. Jack Pilgrim here with Tyler Thompson, getting ready for Kentucky's first round opening battle against Santa Clara. We just wrapped up with the locker room. We just wrapped up at the podium. Just wrapped up at open practice for Kentucky, getting ready for that first round matchup. What are the immediate takeaways that jump out at you, Tyler?
It started out really, really great. The vibes are good. Santa Clara came to the podium. Alan Graves, he's their star freshman. He was really excited. They were all talking about the opportunity of playing a big team like Kentucky, a brand name with their pedigree. Herb Sendek is adorable. He reminisced about his time coaching with Rick Pitino at Kentucky in the early 90s and talked about how Pitino introduced him to his wife, which was pretty cute, and they met in Lexington. It was like all really happy, fun vibes. And then it kind of turned not fun. I guess we'll just jump right into it. Sure. And we're not going to make too much of this because we're excited. Kentucky plays basketball in the NCAA tournament tomorrow, and that is the biggest thing. But when Mark Pope took the podium, a couple of people, Mark Story being the first one, asked about some reports that Yaxel Lindenberg was offered $7 to $9 million to play for UK last offseason. And those are words that Yaxel himself said earlier this week.
Not a report, a quote.
Right. And
it seems to be lost in translation for the head coach.
Pope did not want to answer. He did not give a direct answer to that, even after a follow-up, and instead took the time to kind of go on a rant about the inaccuracies of media reporting these days, specifically when it comes to NIL. It was kind of all over the place, and I hate it because it's kind of taking away the fun that is the NCAA tournament and the day before the games. We can talk about that more later, but yeah, it was just weird, and it's like another weird moment that's kind of added to a long list. But you know what? I'm not going to let that steal my joy. Yeah. Kentucky plays in the NCAA tournament tomorrow. The fans are starting to roll in. There was a decent amount of Kentucky fans at the open practice. It was good to see that. And the team, for what it's worth, looked really loose. That was the number one thing that I was coming in, I was going to focus on, is the mood of this group. We've heard all year about the distractions they've faced. Their own inconsistency has been on full display at times. Woo! So it was good to see them out there smiling, having fun. The open practice was more of a practice than I thought it'd be. Yeah. Usually these are just glorified shoot-arounds and they don't do anything, but Pope had them go through the motions. They did a little scrimmaging. That was kind of fun to see. They did the whole 2 minutes of silence. Pope got on the microphone, and it's a tradition in his practices. He has at least 2 minutes of complete silence in the gym so the players can just focus and be present. So, that's always an interesting, unique moment during these things, but it wrapped up, and there was no media picture this year, which was a bit of a bummer.
They must have just forgot.
I think they forgot, right? They totally just forgot.
They're so distracted, didn't want to add. It happens. It's chaos. It's an NCAA tournament.
Right.
I think that was the most fascinating part of all of it was just how good the vibes were in the locker room, and then to hear that just all hell was breaking loose at the podium because the players were awesome. Because it's an NCAA tournament, we shouldn't be whining and no. This is fun. This is a good time. The sun's shining. The birds are chirping. We got to win some basketball games. So at least the players have their head on straight and where they need to be focused on, because they're talking about winning games and what it would take, and not underestimating a very good Santa Clara team, but knowing that we have our own journey to go down and our own story to write, and we want to be a big part of it. Got some health updates from Reese Potter. That was the first time getting to talk to him in a long time. That was fun. Talked about Miami of Ohio, saying it's kind of being in a weird spot. I am rooting for them, but also don't want them to be too successful because if we play, I want to kick their butts. So I just enjoyed getting to catch up with him a little bit. Got caught up with Jaden Quaintance for the very first time since, I think, very early January. Maybe, it's been a long, long time since we've heard from him. Opened and confirmed for the very first time that he got a PRP injection, got a cortisone shot, that they are actively trying to get his knee in a position of some type of real progress to where he can play. I don't know, it's kind of just this fans, just this narrative that he's just quit, he's being held out, all that stuff. No, they're actually doing treatments by the day. That shot happened on Monday. They're trying to get him on the floor. I asked him, do you think there's a chance you play this weekend or beyond, if Kentucky continues to win, he's like, I haven't been on the practice floor once yet. Like, I mean, it's a work in progress. We got to see what happens there first before I can even talk. He's like, probably unlikely right now. I mean, nothing's promised after tomorrow once the ball is tipped. So it kind of goes both directions, but didn't totally rule it out. But it's just, it's refreshing to hear his side of the story when so many narratives are made about him along the way. So those were a couple of the bigger talking points. The players, a lot of talk about the orange basketball. Some players,
Steven's favorite.
We noticed as the practice was going on, they were definitely doing the bounce test to see how high it would go. Colin Chandler, I think, called it a cheese ball,
which is such a weird comparison.
So
but all right.
He likes the ball, so it kind of reminds him just like a cheese ball. It's like, yeah, whatever. That's good. Cool.
We'll go with
interesting quote, but the outside of that weird podium appearance, everything else I think has been fun and loose and exciting.
Definitely. And, it was fun when Ortega and Denzel Aberdeen came to the podium. I asked them, they have the most NCAA tournament experience outside of maybe Modi Abate on this group, and what their advice was for the younger guys. And Owe had an interesting comment. He was like, I'm telling them to play with urgency because, at times this season, we could get behind really, like by 20 in the first half, but we would always have the second half to catch up. It's like in the NCAA tournament, you don't really have that as much. You really got to come out from the get-go, can't slow start. And also for Denzel and Owe, this is their last NCAA tournament. So Owe said he's playing with an added sense of urgency himself, just knowing tomorrow could be the last time he steps out on the court as a college basketball player. We hope not, but I think he could be the difference maker tomorrow, and he was talking like he was going to be the difference maker today.
I love that. A couple of other notes before we wrap this thing up. We want to keep this one brief because we're doing a happy hour sources say joint combo show. It's going to be awesome. We're very much looking forward to that. That's going to come here in a little bit. We got a little bit more work to do writing articles, and then we'll transition over there here in a couple hours. But Cam Williams says that his foot feels amazing, that his practice has been going well, treatment's been going unbelievably well. He's like, I'm excited for my first NCAA tournament. He said his older brother has been to 2, so this is his kind of like all right, now it's my time to prove and show what I can do here in the big dance. His dad posted those just hilarious, unbelievably cute pictures of Cam way back when. He said it was when they were here at Kentucky. They were at a B-Dubs in Louisville, and Cam was at a recruiting event for his older brother, and they just happened to be there, and just innocent little Cam wanted to go take a picture with the Harrison twins, and I was like, is it kind of full circle for you that, those are the Harrison twins, the run that they went on, and now you can make your own, control your own destiny, write your own story with it. He's like, I got a couple big shots in my bag. I think I got some stuff that I'm ready to work on for his own journey. So that was a very cool. I'm rooting for Cam. I hope that he has a big postseason run. Kentucky certainly needs it. We got Malachi and Jasper talking about kind of full circle moments for them. Growing up as Kentucky fans and being able to experience this for the very first time. Mo and some of the other older vets that have been here and done that and made runs themselves in the tournament said that they're kind of taking some of the younger guys under their wings and saying, hey, like here's, understand the moment and how tomorrow is not promised. You got to appreciate and know that, like, hey, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you got to make the most of it. So some good leadership in that locker room right now from some of the OGs that have been there and done that.
Yeah, and the Harrison twins started a great run in St. Louis, so maybe it's a good sign for Cam Williams. There was one cute quote in the Santa Clara press conference. I mean, obviously they're coming from the West Coast, coming from California. Someone asked, how are you all getting ready for the early start, knowing that tomorrow's game tips 11:15 a.m. locally, 9:15 their time? And their point guard was like, we just go to bed earlier. It's like, it's no big deal. So they're not making much of that storyline at all. He's like, the other team has to get up early too. So for what it's worth, they're not using it as an excuse. We
also got a Santa Clara player. I think he realized immediately that he screwed up, that he did not mean to do this at all. But Mario, shout out Mario, we love him around here, said, do you have any, March Madness legends, people that you've grown up, moments in this event that you've grown up and loved? And he was like, named, he was like, my dad played in this event, and, so I like, those are my own heroes and legends in this event. But he was like, some other guys like Jack Golke and Steven and I in that moment looked at each other and went, oh, he's going to regret that for sure. And you could tell he realized it in real time and went, oh crap. He was like, cut that. Don't put that out there. But sorry, bud. That's
too late.
That's the nature of the beast. It's out there. It's already viral. So he didn't mean it intentionally and like trying to throw some fighting words out there. But bless his heart, he had no idea just what he was signing up for by throwing that out there. But outside of that, I think that's all we need to throw out, and we'll dig deeper here in our little sources say
happy hour
crossover here in a couple hours. But shout out to our friends at we have 3 of them.
We've got Parlour Pizza. Talking about always. Cheese balls. I bet those pepperoni balls would be really good about now.
That's a great point. Friends of Cole.
Always with the Friends of Cole.
They keep the lights on for us. And SeatGeek.
Get in here, BBN.
KSR 10. There's plenty of seats. So you're 10% off. The value is going to be unbelievable. I wish I had the number on my we could do our little guessing game. Here, ramble for a second. We gotta. Do you expect the crowd to be awesome with our friends?
I do. It's been slow arriving. We've seen mostly Iowa State fans so far, it feels like, but they're excited. They're 2 seeds, so they're going to come in early. But Blue is coming in. You got to remember St. Louis is only a 4.5-5 hour drive for most of the state. So I have faith that the BBM will get in here. There were actually, like I said, a decent amount of Kentucky fans here today, and they were excited. It was really good to see. And Brandon Garrison's mom, Tony, was the loudest of them all. It was adorable. She was wearing a McDonald's All-American T-shirt, which I thought was a cute throwback to Brandon's days. But all right,
here we go. All right, session 1 featuring
peek.
7-seed Kentucky, 10-seed Santa Clara, and Iowa State and Tennessee State. What's your guess, Tyler? Get in price.
Get in price for 2 games. Give me $120, Bob.
Ooh, not a bad guess, but better value with our friends at SeatGeek. $98.
It's a steal.
98 smackaroos with KSR 10. That's even cheaper. So just get your butt in there.
Get in here.
Get the big blue mist and fill this arena up, and let's go win some freaking basketball games. For Jack, for Tyler, and for Steven behind the camera, we'll talk to you here in just a couple hours for our little crossover episode. And go Cats.